Welcome to Lower Body Strength. Today's workout, we have 4 different sets. For the first set, we're gonna target the right leg. The second set, we'll target the left. For the third set, we'll combine the two. And then ending with set 4, we have a final burnout. We're gonna start slow in the warm-up, breaking up some of those movements, and then we'll add some weights as we get into it. We're gonna start off with an air squat, setting this up with our feet hip width apart, toes are forward. As you squat down, you're gonna drop your hips back, driving your knees out, squeezing your glutes to stand, keeping your core engaged. So for today's workout, we have lower body strength, working through 4 different sets. So that first set, we're gonna target the right side. The second set, we'll target the left side. The third set, we're gonna combine the two, and then we have a final burnout for that 4th set. Moving into a good morning, feet are still hip width apart, toes are forward, hands are behind your head. You're gonna hinge at the hips with a slight bend in your knee, targeting the hamstrings, getting nice and warm, pulling your core in tight and then squeezing your glutes to stand as you stand all the way up. So for this beginner class, we're gonna keep it low impact, working slow and steady, however, still giving the lower body a great workout. You can refer to the previews in the corner. You can also refer to the timer on the screen for when to work and when to rest. Make your way into a modified high plank. Shoulders are over your wrist, core is pulled in tight while keeping your knee bent. You're gonna raise your left knee to the side, feeling this at the top of your glute, and then slow and controlled, feeling this in your inner thigh as you lower down. I say this in every single warm-up. However, this is your workout, so please listen to your body. Again, take extra rest if you need to. Transition as fast or as slow as you need to as well. Go ahead and move to the same thing on the right, working in this fire hydrant for about 25 seconds. I'll offer modifications as we go along. At any point, if you feel like you're starting to lose your form though, go ahead and drop your weights or take extra rest. Form is always a priority. For every single set, we have 2 rounds of 4 movements, working 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. But again, I'll guide you through 1 round at a time. You can stay in this modified high plank. This time we're going into an alternating glute kickback. So fingertips stay forward, shoulders are over your wrist, lifting at the heel, engaging your glute at the top, pulling your belly button into your spine. We're gonna add on to a couple of these movements when we start our workout. So we're breaking down our form right here in this warm-up, taking it nice and slow. Here for 5. And rest. Awesome job. We should start to feel warm. Go ahead, you can make your way to stand. Grab some water, take a couple seconds here, stretch it out if you need to. We're gonna get right into it today. I'll show you what the first movement looks like. For this first set, we're gonna start with our left foot planted. Our right leg is going to move. So we're isolating one side at a time. For the second set, we'll move to the opposite side. So for this first movement, we're going into a lateral toe touch. Starting with your feet together, keeping that left foot planted, you're gonna step to the side, bringing your left hand towards your right toe, hinging at the hips, and then bringing your feet back together and repeat. So again, as you step to the side, there's a slight bend in your knee, keeping that toe forward and back to center. So you should feel this in your hamstrings, working at a slow and steady pace. That is what our first movement looks like. I'm gonna start the timer. We're on in 10. Again, I'll take you through 1 movement at a time. We're on in 3. Top of set 1, round 1, working here for 50 seconds. Good, so again, in this movement, as you start with your feet together, stepping to the side, hinging at the hips, bringing your hand towards your opposite toe, back to center, working slow and controlled. So again, we're targeting that hamstring and the glutes. That's already halfway, here for 25. That opposite toe should stay forward as well to protect our knees, here for 10. And rest. Awesome job. Slowly make your way to the floor, going back into a modified high plank. So we're going into a weighted fire hydrant. So we're gonna keep that left leg planted, back with our fingertips forward, shoulders are over your wrists. So we're starting on the right side. You're gonna place that dumbbell behind your knee, lifting your leg to the side, squeezing your glute at the top, feeling this in your inner thigh, slow and controlled on the way down, and repeat. So we're adding on to that movement that we broke down in our warm-up. Modification, you can do this without the weight behind your knee and just continue to work through with your body weight. That's totally fine. But again, now we're isolating this right leg here for another 12. In this movement, we want to maintain our high plank setup, pulling our core in tight again, just like we did in our warm-up. Go ahead and rest. 10 seconds off. You can keep that dumbbell behind your knee. Now we're gonna go into a glute kickback, isolating with our weights on that right side. So back into a modified high plank, this time lifting at the heel, squeezing your glute at the top, slow and controlled on the way down, and repeat. Modification is the exact same thing in this movement. You can do this without the weight, just doing it with your body weight. We did this movement in our warm-up as well. However, we worked through an alternating glute kickback. Now again, targeting the right side, that's halfway. So in today's workout, we're gonna target the glutes, the hamstrings, and the side of our glutes, as well as the quads. So again, keeping it low impact, however, focusing on giving the lower body a burn here for 5. And rest where you're at. Great job. Go ahead and slowly make your way to stand. You can grab both dumbbells. We're going into a split stance deadlift. That left foot is forward, right leg is back with a slight bend in your knee. You're gonna hinge at the hips, keeping your arms extended as you hold your weight, so palms are facing towards your body, and then squeezing your glutes at the top. So looking at this movement from the side. Again, split stance, left leg is forward, hinging at the hips, feeling this in your hamstring, and then squeezing that glute at the top. We're here for another 20 seconds. So we broke this down with our good morning in our warm-up. Now we're moving to a split stance. Modification, if this doesn't feel good, you can just go into a normal deadlift, hinging at the hips, squeezing your glutes to stand. We'll get into a normal deadlift later on in today's workout, but again, a good modification if you don't like the split stance. Go ahead and rest, drop your weights. That is the end of our first round. We're headed straight into our second round, moving your weights to the side, we're back to the top. So going back into that lateral toe touch, feet together, and repeat. So continuing to isolate this side with your left foot planted. So for each set, there's 4 movements, 2 rounds through. We're on the second round for this first set. After the second round, we're gonna go ahead and take 45 seconds off before we transition. So we're moving quick today. Transition as best as you can. That's already halfway. Good, here for another 10. We'll continue to feel the burn and the fatigue as we work through each round today. Here for 3. Rest, great job. Go ahead and grab that 1 dumbbell. Going back to that same side, bringing your weight behind your knee. We have a weighted fire hydrant, left knee is planted, same thing, right leg moves, here for 50 seconds. So again, for today's workout, we're targeting one side at a time. The second set today, we'll repeat all of these movements on the opposite side. So we're isolating one leg at a time and then moving together. And then that 4th set, we have a final burnout. So we're making the most, being intentional with today's workout, keeping it low impact, here for 20. Modification again is to do this with your body weight. You can remove that dumbbell behind your knee if you need to. We're here for 5. Rest, 10 seconds off. Great job. You can keep your weight behind your knee if you're using it. Going straight into a glute kickback. Back on in 3. So for that fire hydrant, we were targeting the side of our glutes and the inner thigh. For this glute kickback, you want to lift your heel straight up, targeting the center of our glutes, and then again, slow and controlled as you lower, maintaining this high plank, so pulling your belly button into your spine, taking it 1 rep at a time, being intentional as you squeeze your glute, that's halfway. Good, we're starting to feel the burn. Stay with me, dig a little bit deeper. We're here for 10. Rest, great job. Slowly make your way to stand, grab both weights, back into that split stance deadlift. Left foot is forward, right foot is back, hinging at the hips with a slight bend in your knee. Final 50 seconds of this first set, and then we have 45 seconds off. So stay with me. This is again where I want you to set an intention, dig deeper. I promise you the burn is worth it. Same modification in this movement. You can bring your feet together going into a normal deadlift. If this split stance doesn't feel comfortable, again, whatever you need, here for about 25. Good, we have 45 seconds to rest coming soon, here for 12. And rest. Great job. Move your dumbbells out of the way. Go ahead, take a couple seconds here, shake it out, grab some water. We have about 35 more seconds of rest. Then we're gonna head straight into our second set. For our second set, we're gonna work through those same movements, this time on the opposite side. So this time our right foot is gonna be planted, starting with that first movement. Bringing our hand towards our opposite toe. We're on in 5. Here for 50 seconds, top of round 1. So again, bring your foot to the side, hinging at the hips, back together, and then slow and controlled, working at a steady pace. Good, that's halfway. The second movement of this set is gonna again be the exact same. We'll move to that fire hydrant with or without our weights. We're here for another 15. Rest, great job. Slowly make your way to the floor. Grab a dumbbell if you're using it, place it behind your left knee this time, going into that fire hydrant. Movement number 2, here for 50. Good, so now we're isolating on the opposite side, squeezing the side of your glute, feeling this in your inner thigh, slow and controlled as you lower down. 25 seconds down, less than 25 to go. Then we'll move into that glute kickback. Good, again, pull your core in tight, last 10. Rest. Great job. You can stay right here in this position, moving to a glute kickback. So this time, lifting your heel, targeting the center of your glutes. Here for 50. This glute kickback in this fire hydrant in this plank setup is a great way again to take pressure and impact off of the knees. I know we're kneeling on our knees, however, it takes a little bit of pressure in opposed to a squat jump or again, a higher impact movement. So we're still targeting the glutes, but working slow and controlled over halfway here for about 15. Good, bring that heel up, squeezing your glute at the top as best as you can. Go ahead and rest. Make your way to stand, moving back into a split stance. So this time, for the second set, our right foot in this split stance is gonna be forward, left foot is back, but same thing, arms are extended with your weights, palms are facing toward your body. So isolating the opposite side, but still feeling this in our hamstrings and in our glutes. Modification, just like the first set, you can just go back into a normal deadlift, working through just more sets of this normal deadlift if you want to. Otherwise, maintaining this split stance here for 25. Good. Again, in this deadlift, you want to make sure you're hinging at the hips, pulling your core in tight to protect your low back. If you start to feel this in your low back, then don't hinge as far. Modification, you can drop your weights, bringing your hands towards the floor, but doing this with your body weight. Great job. Go ahead and rest. Move your dumbbells out of the way. That's one round down, going into our second round of this second set. So right into it, stepping to the side, back to center, and repeat. We've been through this movement multiple times now, so if you can, while maintaining form, I want you to pick up the pace. This workout goes by quick today. We just have 4 sets total. 4 more movements in this set, and then we have 45 seconds off, and then we're already halfway. So again, dig deeper, work a little bit faster if you can. That's halfway. Awesome job, you're doing so good. Here for 3. Rest. Slowly make your way to the floor, modified high plank. Place that dumbbell behind your knee, starting with a fire hydrant. We're already back on here for 50. Good. As we add our weights in this movement, it forces us to engage our core. So keeping our core stable, our back flat. The only thing that's moving here is, again, our leg as we lift to the side, engaging our inner thigh in the top of our glutes here for 20. Promise you, the burn is gonna be worth it in today's workout. We're getting in and out. We're seeing progress. Less than 10. Rest. Go ahead and sit up for 10 seconds, moving straight into that glute kickback. If you're using your dumbbell, keeping it there. Third movement of the second round. Same thing in this glute kickback. If you can, start to pick up the pace while maintaining form. Go ahead and do so. Just make sure you're really squeezing your glute at the top, lowering back down, and repeat. Glutes are feeling it, so dig deeper here for 30 seconds. Awesome job. We are making our way back to stand after this. Stay with me. Give me a couple more reps, working through the timer if you can. Last 12. I'm right here with you here for 5. Rest. Great job. Go ahead and move that weight from behind your knees. Slowly make your way to stand. We have 50 more seconds closing out this second set, and then we have 45 seconds off to recover, and we're halfway, finishing this set here in this split stance deadlift. Good, that's already halfway here for 25. We're feeling the burn. So again, think of that intention. We're already halfway through this workout. After this movement, think of the reason why you want to show up for yourself. What motivates you to get through this workout with confidence and with purpose. Stay with me. We're here for 3. Rest. Great job. We made it through. Go ahead and drop your weights. Shake it out, stretch it out. Grab some water, a little bit of rest here before we head into the second half of our workout. Good, we're back on in 10 seconds. So for set 3, we're combining both legs, working through very similar movements. So for this first movement, we're back on. Here for 50 seconds, top of round 1. We're going into an alternating toe touch, but this time with our feet hip width apart, toes are forward in a stagnant position. So we're just alternating, hinging at the hips, reaching our hand towards our opposite toe, standing all the way up, and repeat. So looking at this from the side, working through 1 rep at a time. This is similar to the good morning. We're still targeting the hamstring like we did in that lateral toe touch, but now working both sides. That's already over halfway. Good, less than 10. Making our way to the floor in 3. Good, rest where you're at. Make your way to the floor. The second movement, we're going back into that same modified high plank position. This time, we're gonna work our body weight, working 1 rep at a time. So bringing that leg to the side, working 1 rep at a time, this time with our body weight. So I want us to focus a little bit more on speed now that we don't have our dumbbells. Option to make this harder, if you wanna place both dumbbells behind both of your knees and work through and alternate each rep, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, again, doing this with our body weight, focusing on this fire hydrant with speed less than 20. Good, we're working under fatigue. So in this third set, we're gonna start to feel it a little bit sooner. That's exactly where we're supposed to be. We're here for 3. Rest. Go ahead and sit up. 10 seconds off. Moving to the same thing with that glute kickback. So back to what we did in our warm up. Moving through that body weight, alternating each rep. This time working through the full 50 seconds. Again, same thing as that fire hydrant, focusing on speed. So lifting that heel, squeezing your glute at the top, alternating sides each rep. Again, same option. You can place your weights behind your knees if you want to. Otherwise, we're right here for 30 seconds. You're doing so good. Awesome job. Stay with me, less than 20. We're combining both legs for this third set after working under fatigue here for 10. Resting in 3. Rest where you're at. Go ahead and slowly make your way to stand. Awesome job. Grab both weights. Last movement is a normal deadlift. So feet are now hip width apart, hinging at the hips. Palms are facing towards your body with a slight bend in your knee. Again, targeting the hamstrings, squeezing your glutes at the top. If you've been doing this instead of that split stance, we're here once again for this third set, working both legs. Again, so important to maintain form as we continue to feel the burn. If you feel like you're starting to feel this in your low back, I said this before, but just make sure that you're dropping your weights, or again, not hinging as far, and then really engaging your core and engaging your glutes. We're here for another 12. This is what set 3 looks like. We're gonna repeat that one more time after this. Good. Go ahead and move your weights to the side. 1 round down, 1 round to go. Back to the top with that alternating toe touch. Awesome job. Again, if you can pick up the pace a little bit, I want you to do so. This movement completely goes away after this. All 4 of these movements will completely go away after this last round. That's halfway, 20 more seconds. No better feeling than crushing a workout, showing up for yourself, making it through all the way to the end, even if you don't want to. I promise you, again, it's worth it. You're gonna thank yourself when you don't give up, working through the timer. Go ahead and rest. Make your way to a modified high plank, back into an alternating fire hydrant option with or without your weights. If you don't have your weights, focusing more on speed. Last time in this movement, here for 45.
Promise I'll try to make you happy, be the best I can be. I'll do everything for you.
Good, stay with me, keep showing up with intention. That's halfway, last 20. The side of our glutes and our inner thighs are feeling it. We're here for 15. Give me 1 more rep on each side. Here for 3. Rest. 10 off. 2 movements down in that round. 2 to go. Last time, and that alternating glute kickback. Here for 50 seconds. We're gonna take it 10 seconds at a time. Good, that's about 15 seconds down. Here for 30. Keep lifting that heel, squeezing your glute at the top. Another 10 seconds down. Here for 20. Headed into our final 50 seconds of this set in 10. Good, here for 5. Rest, amazing job. Grab both weights. Last time in this set, we have 50 more seconds in this deadlift, and that deadlift is gonna go away for the rest of the workout. Feet are hip width apart, toes are forward, arms are extended. Good, it's so important to work your hamstrings. A lot of time when we focus on lower body, we focus on the quads and the glutes. So again, really important to focus on this deadlift, working the hamstrings here for about 15. All the way through the timer. We have 45 seconds to shake it out. Give me a couple more reps here for 5. Drop your dumbbells and rest. 3 sets down, 1 final set to go. Grab some quick water, shake it out. Then we're gonna head into our final burnout. Good, for this first movement, you can go ahead and grab both weights. We're on in about 12 seconds. We have a dumbbell front squat. So we're still keeping it low impact, not going into a jump, sticking to a stable front squat. We're gonna bring our weights to shoulder height, chest is up, core is engaged. Just like we did in our warm-up, we're gonna drive our knees out and then squeeze our glutes to stand, taking it 1 rep at a time, working slow and steady. So for this last set, we have 4 movements, 2 rounds through, 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and that's it. We're working under fatigue. We targeted the right side, left side, both together, and now final lower body burn in this 4th set. That's already halfway. Keep moving at a consistent pace. Option for modification here, you can do this with a single dumbbell, holding it with your palms facing towards each other. Otherwise, you can do this with your body weight. Rest. Great job. Move your weights to the side. We're gonna come back into a modified high plank. Now we're gonna go into a glute pulse. So we're gonna start with our right leg planted, left leg is extended. We're gonna lift our heel up, pulsing a couple inches at the top. So you can have a slight bend in your knee, but keeping your leg extended as best as you can. Really focusing on targeting your glutes as you pulse. So lifting at the heel, squeezing your glute at the top. This should burn after those fire hydrants and after those alternating glute kickbacks. So stay with me, dig deeper, focus on your intention here for another 20. Awesome job. This is you versus you for this last set, less than 10. I promise you it goes by quick, and I'm right here working with you here for 3. Rest. Great job. Slowly make your way to stand. The 3rd movement, we're going into an air squat. We're gonna focus on speed. So feet are hip width apart, toes are forward, just like we did in our warm-up. Now, focusing on speed, however that looks like for you. So that means you want to take it slow and steady so you can maintain your form. That's perfectly fine. If you want to pick up the pace a little bit, that's also perfectly fine. You're focusing on what you need finishing this workout for yourself. The 4th movement in this workout, we're back to the floor, closing out that pulse on the opposite side. Then we're repeating these movements 1 more time through, and that is it. There are no surprises. You know what to expect. So dig deeper. We're almost done here for another 12. Good. Here for 5. Rest. Great job. Slowly transition to the floor, planting that left foot. Right leg is extended, going into that pulse. Same thing, keeping just a slight bend in your knee if you need to, lifting your heel, pulsing a couple inches. Good, stay with me. Sometimes when we feel the burn, our brain likes to panic a little bit, trying to tell us that we need to stop. However, again, I promise you, your body can do so much more than your mind tells you that it can. So try to keep yourself calm, working at a steady pace. I promise you that you can do it. If you can maintain your form, I want you to continue to work through the timer. Give me a couple more here for 5. Rest. Great job. 4 movements left of today's workout. Headed straight into round 2. Grab your dumbbells, starting from the top. Last time in this dumbbell front squat. Modification here, again, doing this with 1 weight, holding with your palms facing towards each other, or back into an air squat. You're doing so good in this workout. Again, we're gonna take it 1 rep at a time for this final round. This movement goes away with our weights after this, well over halfway, less than 20. Continue to drive your knees out at the bottom. We're here for 10. Good. Give me 1 more. Rest. That was the last movement with our dumbbells. You can set them aside for good. We're back into the modified high plank. Planting your right leg, extending your left. Last time pulsing on this side. Good, that's about 20 seconds down here for 30. There's so much confidence that comes from working through movements that feel difficult and uncomfortable. So I want you to go straight through the discomfort, continuing to fight and maintain your form as you work through. The burn is worth it. We're so close to the end. We have about 2 minutes left. You made it this far. Don't give up on me now. How we finish is so, so important. Go ahead and rest. 2 more movements to go. Last time. Last standing movement in this squat. Again, either working slow and steady or focusing on speed. Good, again, you're finishing this for yourself, nobody else but you. That's halfway here for 25. Last 12. Give me a couple more full reps. And rest where you're at, head to the floor. Final 50 seconds. We're finishing here with that leg pulse, planting the left side, working on the right. Again, working through the timer. This is how we finish today's workout. I'm gonna count you down 10 seconds at a time. That's over 10 seconds down. Keep moving. I don't care what this looks like. I want you to work slow and steady, but finish this workout with purpose. That's another 10 down. That's also halfway, less than 25. Good, headed into our final 15. Don't give up on me now, here for 10. Working through the timer, here for 3. And rest. Awesome job. That is the end of today's workout. We made it through those 4 sets. Way to stick through. If you're still with me at this point, go ahead again, make sure your weights and your water's moved out of the way. We're gonna end this workout with a quick cool down. For our cool down, we're gonna start on our back. Go ahead and bring your left knee in towards your chest. You can extend the right. We're gonna take some time stretching out the glute, so slightly twisting to the side, holding it here, and then we'll switch. Again, awesome job. That was a rough one, but so effective. We made it all the way through the end. I think it was about 35 minutes total for that workout. So again, awesome, awesome job. If you're new here, I have 3 different class types with the beginner and an advanced version of every workout. Go ahead and switch sides, bringing your right knee in towards your chest. So the workout structure will be the exact same. The beginner classes will focus on beginner movements, lower in impact, but still a great workout. The advanced classes, again, will just be higher intensity, but both workout structures will be the same. So you can start with the beginner classes, work up to the advanced. You can start with the advanced, maintain there, or you can just stick to the beginner. There's really no right or wrong way to go about it. These workouts are just meant to provide convenient and effective workouts that meet your own individual needs. Go ahead and bend that left leg, extending the right. You can slightly press on that left knee and then reach your hand, bending at the waist, feeling this in your hamstrings, stretching it out. Here for 10, and then we'll switch sides. Good. Go ahead and switch sides. So important to spend some time in the cool down, stretching it out after an intense workout. If you're interested in more fitness or nutrition related topics on how to reach your goals but make them stick in a realistic, enjoyable, and sustainable way, you can check out the podcast that's linked on my website called A Dietitian's Guide to Sustainability in the Fitness and Nutrition World. You can also check out the recipe section on my website for meal inspiration as well. Go ahead and bend that left knee, slightly leaning back. We're gonna stretch out the quads here for 15, and then we'll close this cool down out on the opposite side. Good, go ahead and switch sides. Bend the right knee here for the final 10. And rest. That concludes lower body strength, working through those 4 sets. Way to show up for yourself, sticking all the way through the end. Thank you so much for working out with me, and I will see you in the next workout.